Hi, this is the Genius 180 Day Review video series. Here we're going over the phi counter decay. These are the things that you need to know today, like what exactly is going on. And this is a pretty important one. All right, what is this phi counter? Well, previously it was named the penalty counter, but really it wasn't so much of a penalty. It was more of a fee being charged to end early. So the names of things, the terms in Genius have been evolving as well over the last 90, 180, 200 days so that people can understand what's going on here. This was vital with Bitcoin, and it was vital with Bitcoin's adoption, that words changed and people had better ways to explain Bitcoin. And the same thing is happening today with Genius. This is why Genius has a lot of future. There's a lot of groundwork to happen still. Well, so this is important because the phi counter, it decays every 90 days. So the phi counter, it grows every time somebody breaks a commitment, but it also decays every 90 days. And it decays by like 38%, which means you divide whatever current number it is by phi, and then you, like, let's say the phi counter was 100, divide it by phi, and you get 61. That's pretty cool. All right. This influences the phi multiplier, which also influences basic minor blackout days. So this is something you want to be aware of. The phi counter is something that's important to be aware of. And by the way, what I want to say is with phi-based math, this works so beautiful with Genius. Genius is super sustainable math of the future. And I've been researching this for about a year, and prior to that year, I was finalizing the design of Genius with 3 other co-inventors. We were all working together to finalize that design. And the prior year and years before that, a lot of this was research questions, talking with other people, us all having a Telegram chat room to chat in, and Slack before that as well. And it's like, cool, let's put all of our tokenomics ideas together. Let's figure out, can a store of value be programmed? Can something be programmed to rise in value over time? And it turns out that phi-based math is great. Phi-based math, what is that? Well, the phi counter, when it decays by 38%, we're working with the number phi. Now, economics today, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I really want to mention it. It's some information that can be really useful to you, and it's very interesting about Genius. But all of our economics today works on exponents and percentages. It works on proportions that don't make sense. They don't make sense to the human population growing. They don't make sense to viral products growing. They don't make sense, but they work, right? I mean, do whatever you can to work. Do whatever you can to have things work out. But however, well, with exponential math, you have 1 item turns into 2 items, turns into 4 items, multiply it by 2, turns into 8 items, multiply that by 2, turns into 16 items, and it counts up and up and up. Something gets big fast. It gets unsustainable quite quickly. Now, this may be like how the population like bacteria tends to grow. I would say not exactly, because other bacteria are also dying at the same time, and it depends on the environment, right? But this number, the phi number, came from Leonardo da Pisa, or not Leonardo da Vinci. He was from like some place outside of Florence, Italy, a little tiny area called Vinci. But Leonardo da Pisa, he studied like math from the Arabs, right? And that's where like a lot of math we use today comes from. But he studied the population of rabbits, and this was very important for like rabbit population and the rabbit industry with like furs, meats, etc. This was very important information, knowing the population of rabbits and how that would grow. Because our population doesn't grow exponentially. That doesn't happen. I mean, maybe like you are one person and it took 2 parents to make you, and then that took a mother and father, and then that took like 4 total parents to make them, and then it took 8 and 16 and 32 and 64 and 128 and etc. So why is this important? Well, Well, it turns out that Genius is the only thing I know of that uses phi-based math, and the proportions of phi come from rabbit population studies, etc. It comes from something called the Fibonacci sequence. And all I'm saying is these numbers work very well with a growing human population, which are people who are using a token or using any economics of any kind. They also, these numbers in proportions, which are built into Genius, also work great with viral growth. So this is interesting stuff here, really interesting stuff here. And I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. So the phi counter with Genius, every 90 days, it decays by an amount of like phi, of basically phi. And this is working out so far quite incredible with Genius. Keep in mind, so the phi counter for Ethereum, what does this tell us today? Well, in the first 90 days, there were about like 25 phi counts. This was from basic miners early ending their commitments early. This also happened from auctions. There were many people with the legacy Genius token who had made 90 days miners, and when you auction off your Genius shares or your Genius miner, when you auction that, once the auction is finished, the phi count increases. Remember, it increases by 1 for an average sized commitment, an average sized miner. Size being like the amount in Genius tokens. So on the first 90 days, there's 127 phi counts. And before the 180th day, the phi count was about 25, which tells us that these recent 90 days, the phi count only increased by 8. In the prior 90 days, the phi count raised by 27. That tells you that there's much more confidence with Genius. Genius users, those who are using Genius, they're extremely confident in this token. And this token's, it's not going away. It's growing, and it's teaching everybody really interesting stuff and really interesting possibilities when it comes to store of value, when it comes to things that were talked previously in these videos. So, but check this out. So how did I get 8 phi counts per period? Let me show you that. You might be interested in that. First days, it was phi. All right. So the first 90 days, there was 27 phi counts. Once it decayed, that went to 18. And then after 180 days, the count was 25. So minus 25, and you'll see that the difference was 8 phi counts. So 27 divided by 5, we got 16. What does it take to get 16 to 25? About 8.5. So 8 average size miners ended. Pretty cool stuff, huh? All right, let's see. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so this concludes the phi counter section. This is information that you need to know. For example, if you're going to end your advanced miner commitment, if you're going to end it early, there's an optimal time to end it. It could be now, or it could be when the Genius calendar, like today is day like what, 200 and something, 205, 210, I don't know. But when the Genius calendar number, the day number, when it is divisible by 90, such as day 270, or day 360, day 450, day 540, etc., when those days come, when their performance gets summarized, the phi counter is going to decay by an amount of phi. So the phi counter divided by phi equals the new counter. Pretty cool, huh? So use that information to your knowledge and to your advantage if you plan on breaking a commitment early. All right, thanks for watching this video, and let's see what we got next. Let's see what we got next for the videos. There's one more video in the series, and that is about the future upgrades. That's a good one.